Come on back in, y'all. Come on back in. Because he definitely just drove me crazy. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all know I don't know nothing about no TikTok. What's up, y'all? Oh, Lord, he was driving me crazy, y'all. I don't know nothing about no TikTok. But we going to figure it out today. We going to become an expert in no time. You hear me? All right. Let me,
now we're gonna go to the medium, ladies. Now we're gonna do the medium.
Trying to find myself so I can reshare myself on my page. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm new to TikTok, so I'm trying to figure it all out. All right, let me do this real quick.
If you go to you feel like doing it, you gotta.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Come on in, Miguel. What questions do you have?
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Come on. Unfortunately, the only JPG I have.
All right, I'm ready to get started. And if y'all want to come up, please, let's stay on topic. I don't have no problem. Y'all can come up. I don't have any issues with that. Thank y'all for rejoining. I appreciate y'all. So back to where I was starting. Start with your previous year tax return. So many of y'all may have already tapped into other services, processes, fill in the blank, but we're going to stick to the facts. Everything is a tax. It does not matter what it is and who it is, it's a tax. And I want to also help you remember you are the creditor. These corporations can't do a thing about you. Do you understand? They can't do a thing without us. So if there is no, when I tell you, if there is absolutely no way for you to understand this, you are the creditor. You are not the borrower. And that's biblical. I'm not even going to take it biblical, but you are always the creditor, not the borrower. Okay. And that exists in every part of the world. If you never signed your name, put your social security number, even giving them your name, because right now I'm peeping how they doing things. If they're all in one system, they actually don't even need your social security number or anything anymore. And that's identity theft. When you go apply for insurance and they say, "Oh, we already got all your information." How is that? I just got on the site and started requiring things. So how all of a sudden you have all my things? And so that's what I want y'all to understand. Okay. And more importantly, y'all are already millionaires. So I want to go backwards to go forward. Y'all are already millionaires. Every person I sit down and I talk to, at the bare minimum, they add 100,000 a year. You know, that means that you really didn't have a whole lot going on that year, but you're definitely having some kind of money going through your accounts. Think about every credit card you have, car you've driven, place you lived in, money you spent, bank statements, credit cards, applications, all those things. You are already a millionaire, y'all. And I'm not, this is not hype up. And I am going to show y'all my own tax returns very shortly so y'all can see how easy it is to get all the money that you're entitled to. Okay. So in between time, I want you to stick to this list. All right. So people ask, prior year tax returns, IRS letter saying you owe me. Miguel, you can unmute whenever you're ready. State tax letters, notices, transcripts, anything that says you filed something, applications from creditors, even if they denied you, y'all. If you apply for a $10,000 credit card and they said that y'all did not get denied, meaning they didn't grant you this fake money, they still owe y'all. Still owe you. You just have to have the evidence. Everything is about evidence, okay? We sticking to the facts. If you ain't got no proof, you can't get no money. So you got to do these things. What else? W-2s. Let's talk about that. Folks that have W-2 wage jobs, you are misclassified. The Public Salary Act, y'all can look that up. I'm not going to teach down that rabbit hole today. Look up the Public Salary Act or DME. I can send you the PDF for it. The Public Salary Act says that you're not even defined as a person that's supposed to be taxed. You're not a politician. Only people that work for the federal government and or live in Washington, D.C. have to pay taxes. Did y'all know that? Put that in the chat. If you knew that already, put it in the chat. If you didn't know it already, put it in the chat. Did y'all know that if y'all did not live in Washington, D.C., or if you're not a federal government employee, you are not taxable? Okay? If you didn't know that, now you guys know. Y'all been misclassified. So my topic of W-2 is because you have been misclassified, they have been wrongfully taking taxes out of your check. It don't matter who your employer is, hunty. Unless you're self-employed, then you're cheating yourself. But I ain't going to judge you for cheating yourself. But I'm talking about if you work for somebody else, W-2 means that you have to be a specific category of people, okay? And if you don't fall into that category, then you don't fall in it. So I'm going to show y'all that. Again, you know, I'm always about, we focus on the law. So let me pull that open right quick. We got the 4852. All right, so we're talking about the law here, okay? So if we look at this here, affianced labor is private property and is not subject to taxation under law Eisner versus Maycomber 252 U.S. 189, and that's from 1920. It establishes that compensation for labor does not constitute a gain, profit, or taxable event. So think of things, this example here, when we're talking about labor, quid pro quo. That means you did something in exchange for something, so that cancels the benefit out. The benefit to your job was that you worked and did labor. Their so-called benefit to you, even though it's coming from your trust account, we'll get into that next, was that they paid you for your labor. So that's an even exchange. So how can something based off of this constitute a gain, profit, or taxable event? If I gave you something, my time in exchange for money, how is it that now I'm paying for that? Okay, if we go deeper, remember I told y'all the Public Salary Tax Act of 1839 confirms that only public officials and government employees receive taxable wages. The affianced earnings were misclassified on the W-2, even though you have never been in a federally taxable capacity. So what does that mean? So for those of you, unless you work for the federal government, I'm just going to keep it real. If you work for the federal government, then you are not entitled to that benefit. But typically it's for public officials. Are you a public official? I would say that's the exception to their rule. Okay. You have to know when something applies to you and when something does not apply to you. Okay. Government employees receive taxable wages. That's the other caveat. So remember, I said you work for the federal government or you are in the Washington, D.C. area. And so those are some of the laws you all can look up. Remember, I said the Public Salary Act of 1939. So you can Google that. And if you can't find it, just let me know and I'll make sure I get it to you guys. Here, the private property piece, you are the creditor and not the borrower. As a secure party creditor, if we're talking about the Uniform Commercial Law, I didn't want to go into that, but if we're talking about the Uniform Commercial Law, then that's where that will fall into play. You are the creditor. You created, you're the grantor of whatever the transaction is, and as a result, you are the secure party creditor because you originated that transaction. And everything is commerce, y'all. So let me be very clear. It's nothing that I'm talking about that does not apply to commerce, even your job, your labor. Everything is commerce. So let's go back to some more of my list here. So other things that you guys can do, prior year tax returns, this whole line we did. right? Now we down to W-2. What if you got a 1099 NEC? Non-employee compensation, 1099 miscellaneouses, Schedule C records. These are all the documents that you can gather with the fake income on it that you can get recoupment for. Okay? Bank statements, payment processors. Some of y'all on here at TikTok, if they charge you payment processing fees through Stripe, Square, or any kind of other credit card processing, that money can come back to you. It originated from your trust account. Okay? Here, deposit summaries, cancel checks. Okay? This is a lot. Business. Here we go. Related credit card statements, anything. So why business? Let me break that down. Let's stick to that for a second, because I know a lot of people who are on here right now these are my current people who are part of our program, and they are business owners. So let's stay on that. Your social security number is the number, naturalization number, work permit number, green card number. So that's why I said this is for anybody who is in the United States in any capacity. Hey, Bonita, who is in any capacity. All of those things derive from your social security number, unless you have a foreign grantor trust. We can talk about that in a second, because someone asked earlier about status correction and is it necessary. When you apply for EIN, one of the first things they ask you for is your social security number. So for you business owners who feel like, well, I don't have any money. No, yeah, you do, because your business EIN derived from your social security number. That's an extension of your social security number, because you had to put that in order for you to get your EIN. Am I wrong or am I wrong? Somebody tell me in the chat. What's up? So when you got your EIN, because you have to put your SSN, your social security number, or I-10, if you're not a U.S. citizen, into the application for an EIN, it's the same thing, guys. And so by that being a situation, why can't you get recoupment for your business expenses, your business bank statements, business credit card? And a lot of what our transactions, and my past background was finance. I'm moving back into the space for the sake of our programming, but understand that a lot of time they still use your social to approve you for business loans, guys. I'm telling you what you may or may not have known. They use your information in order for you to get a business loan, a business credit card. You fill in the blank. That's how you got approved. Maybe you had good credit. If your interest rate is high, that's another different situation. But I'm just saying, your EIN derived from your social security number. So anything that you're doing in your business, recoupments. Now let's go a step further. For those you all who have trust already, who have 501c3s, 508c1as, you fill in the blank. If you had to get a EIN for any of those entities, these things are recoupable as well. Share, tell your friends, press share, y'all. Repost this to your circle, because people are going to ask you questions that you're not going to be able to answer. So let them join and get on the call. Okay. So when we're talking about just a little bit of things we described, which was bank statements, payment processor, deposits, cancel checks, business related credit, that's mostly times you see that from your business. So I don't care what kind of business you had. I don't care if you were selling plates, if you used Cash App, Zelle, Venmo. Listen, y'all, everything. Do you understand? Everything I'm talking about right now that you all have used will be recoupable for you. Next things on the list: invoices, receipts, contracts. Contracts. I want to stay on that for a minute. So if you breathe too hard and you had to apply and it had a cost and value to it, it's recoupable, y'all. And I'm being facetious, but I'm being for real, because you know they got oxygen tank type spa services now where you're breathing in oxygen and it gives you like this high because your body's all alkaline and stuff. I'm joking, but I'm for real. But the reality is, if you breathe and it costs you money, you literally Like literally, y'all, literally. It's one of those things. So keep in mind, nothing is off the table. Here's some other things. Booking records, business activity proof. A business activity proof. So I'm gonna talk about different record types for a second because I want y'all to understand how some of these things work. So even with the IRS, if you're able to recreate whatever you're trying to say you once had, they have to accept it. We don't have to do no fraud with these type of situations, y'all, because everything we're doing is legal based. The IRS works for us. It's not the other way around. Congress works for us. These senators work for us. All of that. Literally, all of that. So I don't want y'all to think that when y'all are interacting with the IRS, one, you don't have to act in fair. Let's start with that. Two, when you're interacting with them, you are the creditor. So you don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to try to prove or anything. It's like in your domain, you're the boss, you're the king, you're the queen. So being as though that is your situation, you can't let nobody take your boss status away. You understand what I'm saying? I want y'all to regain y'all boss status because at the end of the day, the IRS owe y'all money. And all these banks, all these people y'all doing business with, that when you ain't in this proper way they want you to be, meaning your credit is not good or you don't have enough money, and they trying to tell you you're not good enough to do business with them, run them checks, run their pockets. We not, this is 2026. So if you're just joining my live and you never even heard of some of the things that I'm talking about, it's okay. Stay here for a while because I'm definitely make sure that you hear what I'm saying, understand, and then the next step is to act on it, okay? Because we're no longer collecting information, y'all. No more going from page to page. TikTok is like the new YouTube university, you know? But I don't want y'all to get this information and not act on it. Do you understand? No more, we call that hoarding information. We're not doing that. Not this year. We're not doing that over here. And the reason why is because some of y'all can't afford to pay y'all mortgages right now. Some of y'all cars are getting repossessed. Some of y'all are one step away from homeless. But when you learn these things, understanding that you are the creditor and not the borrower, these folks, they're going to owe you a lot of money. I talked to a couple people last couple of days. Some of them were federal government employees. And guess what? They can still, now that they're no longer federal government employee, they can do this process. You can do this process if you're a federal government employee, but you have to act in trust status. So when someone asked earlier, do you have to change your status? Hey, Corey, you don't have to change your status, but you do have to act in your trust capacity. And what I mean by that is, some of y'all already have trust. If you have a trust and you have never funded it, it is not active. Do you understand? If you have a trust and you've never funded it, it is not active. Funded does not necessarily mean that you had to open up a bank account. So I'm going to talk on the trust for a little bit, and then we'll get back to our list of all the things that you can recoup. So on the trust side of things, I want to talk on this because when I get on the phone with y'all, you're coming to me for help, but then you're also telling me how to do my job. And I love y'all. And I know you may know some things, but if you know the things and have not acted on it, then you're losing out. So today we're going to learn some things so we can now act on it. So let's talk about the trust. And the simplest thing, there are lots of trust out there, y'all. There's so many types of trust. I don't even know, to be honest with you, where to start with that. But we're not going to get so caught up in knowing that is that many types of trust out there that we don't even get one started. So all of those who are part of my group, we created a master trust. The master trust includes all of the top types of trust that one will want to have. So you have the revocable trust. That revocable trust means it's just changeable. That's the simplest way to explain it. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I got you, Tenacious Tanisha. Tenacious Tanisha. Okay, I got you. So we have the revocable trust. We have the irrevocable trust. Why would one want to have an irrevocable trust? Because as a grantor and the creator of the trust, you do not want somebody coming back trying to change how you've structured your trust. Trusts are designed for asset protection. It's not designed for us to just allow people to change after you become back in boss status, because that's what we're going to aim toward. When you get back in boss status as a trustee, a grantor, and a creditor, guess what, y'all? We can't let nobody take that away from us. Now, this world is not an easy world, but when you get in status and you understand your status, you can always act in your authority. So as a trustee, grantor, beneficiary, executor, it's all kind of names for all these things that you are. And you're awesome, you're great as well. The trust itself, as an irrevocable trust, means nobody can change it. And so for those who come along on the journey and they end up signing up with us, okay. Oh, okay. Hey, Renee said that Tenacia is one of her homegirls from PA. Shout out to PA. I'm from Philly. What's up, y'all? When we're talking about the trust and how we're operating within it, the irrevocable trust is scary to all creditors. So the trust piece, you don't have to correct your status, but the trust piece is important because you have to operate business to business, corporation to corporation. Hey, Legend. What's up, Legend? Miguel giving you a shout out. So here's something very, very common, okay? When we're talking about setting up a trust, those who are in my group, we created the master trust. They have the revocable feature, which is what allows for you to get your bank account. Banks don't want to deal with any irrevocable trust because they already know that you are the creditor. When you come in with that type of stuff, they get scared of that. So they'll say, oh, we don't open up irrevocable trust. So if anybody in this chat has successfully opened up an irrevocable trust bank account, let the people know. You can come up and join and educate people on it. Okay? Irrevocable trust means it's not changing. You open up an irrevocable bank account?
Yeah, I actually opened up 3 of them, but with the same bank.
Okay. What bank is that, Miguel?
That's Fifth Third Bank. It's out of Ohio. I don't know if that's in every state, but in Ohio, it's Fifth Third Bank.
Awesome. Yes, Fifth Third Bank. I've seen it throughout the northeast area, the southeast area, like in Atlanta, Georgia area. I don't know if it's here on the West Coast, but guess what? Okay, God Sovereign said they did one with Truist. Okay, shout out to y'all. So if y'all want to come up here and talk a little bit about it, if you're comfortable, no pressure. Y'all can talk about that. How you feel
Fifth
about
Third, they good because they do same day. So they can open up the account same day. They right in contact with their legal. So if you get there in the early morning time, I want to say like around 9 or 10ish, and they can talk to legal, they'll have that open up for you before the end of the day.
I love that. Now, my other question to you is around if it's interest versus non-interest bearing. What kind of account were you able to open?
So, okay, now that's great that you said that. So, I have 2 trust accounts open with Fifth Third that are irrevocable, and it's the 42 Samurai Trust and the Tobias Hair and Cotton. Tobias Hair. When I went in, I told them both to make them both non-interest bearing checking accounts. I didn't want any interest to be attacked on to them. After a few months, I had noticed I was receiving a 6-cent interest from on my 42 Samurai. So I literally just had to talk to her last week about getting that removed because I asked for a non-interest bearing account and you tacked on interest because I noticed how the bank make their little bit of cheese.
Exactly. And that's a good point. So Renee asked the question, which is better? The key is the type of account, y'all. Y'all have to do non-interest bearing. When you do interest, you're giving them permission as far as them being the creditor and you are not. So how do we regain status back as the creditor, the trustor, the grantor, the executor, the administrator of your own estate? It comes from how they set your bank account up. Okay. So thank you for that, Miguel, because that's a very important piece. And one thing I want y'all to do, if you're going to go open up a trust account, I don't care what kind of trust account it is. You may already have trust documents created. That is wonderful. But when you go in, don't let them give you the account that they want you to have. Know what account you need. And when you go in, that's the account that you sign. Say, I want XYZ account. Acting your authority, guys. That's all it is. You're acting in your authority. So don't go in and say, well, I don't know what kind of checking and savings. Listen. Nah, y'all cannot go in there not knowing as the authority figure of your own trust what it is that you're supposed to have. So you go in there and you tell them what you want and you don't falter. Another thing to talk about, yes, thank you, God Sovereign. At Moody, someone said, which is better? It just has to be non-interest bearing, okay, guys? Because when you have interest bearing, that's where they're making all that money off of you. You can still do the recoupment process, no matter the type of account. So I don't want y'all to overthink that. I just want to make sure that you get the right type of account. And the key, knowing the type of account that you want before you walk in the door is going to be your saving grace. Okay, just so we're very clear. That's your saving grace, because you know walking in, it's a non-interest. So if you look at your paperwork, when it's time to do your signature card, and we'll talk about your signature card in a second, make sure it says the account that you came in for and not anything else. Okay, so that's something, like Miguel said, all he did was tell them, hey, y'all messed up, fix it. But that was their way of accessing your trust account real quick. Like, they already knew what they was doing. So that's why it's important when you walk in and get your accounts done that you know what it's supposed to be, so that you're able to benefit off of that. Okay, so that's that piece. Signature card, when you walk in to get your actual account. So you are a beneficiary, you are a trustor, you're the trustee, you are the grantor, the executor, all these different names. One, make sure you write the word by. I'm going to show it to you on the screen, because that's how we're going to make things easy for y'all today. We're going to show you. Let me open up a blank document and then I can show you. Give me a second. So you can do, you're going to do this. I know this is extra, but I'll explain it why it is. All right. What else is attached to your master trust or just the irrevocable? I'll break that down in a second. KGS, where do you get your trust documents from? Our group created it. So me and all my administrators of our team, we created this. So we combine. I'll break that down to y'all. So when you guys are going to sign, okay, you put the by, because by lets them know that you are a corporate person. You always put your colon. Either one is good, Renee. Revocable and irrevocable. The ones that we have for our group has it combined in one, so you don't have to worry about that. You actually have both. Here, the colon, the hyphens, you put beneficiary because you are going to be benefiting from your bank account. You already know you're the trustee because you're the grantor of the trust. You're also the executor. So don't let them think that they can come back and try to re-sign and what they call have security interest over or act on your behalf as a POA. And a lot of times that's what's in the paperwork. Then you do the UCC 1-308. Let me pull that up for you so y'all know what that is. Hold on. And if you can write it all without prejudice, here, I'll bring it back. It's a provision in the Uniform Commercial Code that allows parties to perform or accept performance under a contract while explicitly reserving their rights, ensuring they do not intentionally waive any legal claims or defenses. This clause is often used to protect individuals and businesses in commercial transactions from unforeseen liabilities. So if they, meaning these banking institutions, try to act on your behalf without you knowing, when you put this in here on your signature card, that tells them from Jump Street, don't play with me. Okay? So you sign like that. And let me go a step further so y'all really get it. It's supposed to be in blue ink, y'all. Get in the habit and writing in blue ink. And if you can fit as much as you can on your documents, here's a shorter way. So let's just say you're signing a receipt of some sort. Let me show y'all what that looks like. This is what I do. And I do try to fit it all in if possible. Because this is a shorter version of what I just had, okay? So if you have to sign like a receipt, try to fit that all in there. Because now you're letting these people you're spending money with know, I ain't playing with y'all neither. Don't if I spend over $500, and that's the threshold, y'all, a minimum of $500 with whatever vendor. Okay? So
Hey Jess, I got a quick question too.
yeah, go ahead.
When I went in after my trust account was open, both times they had me sign a W-9. I wasn't sure exactly how to sign that, so I just signed it with the trustee abbreviation at the end of it.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. Somebody sent me a message recently and said that. They told me that they went somewhere to some bank, and I don't know if they were trying to open an account or maybe, the bank sent it to them in the mail, asking them to fill that out. First of all, y'all are, if you are the creditor and you are, and you exactly how I just explained, then make sure you put all this stuff at the end when you sign it. Okay? That's not a problem. And guess what? You can send a corrected one if you feel like you didn't sign it right before. It's never too late, okay? As long as you're alive, you can always make change happen, okay? I want y'all to understand that. And then back to the last question from somebody in the chat. So we created a master trust. All of my administrative people in our team, we all have had different types of trusts for different reasons. I'm explaining no, never record your trust documents and never give your trust documents to anybody, guys. Thank you for that. So when you go to open up a bank account, y'all, all y'all need is your certificate of trust. That's the shorter version of your trust. And all you need is your EIN letter. Okay. That's all you need. Anything beyond that, no, it's private for a reason. So I know I don't care what these gurus out here telling you. Go ahead and get jammed up messing around with them if you want to. And definitely don't let no lawyer do your trust. Who knows your life and how you want it to be better than you guys? Spending thousands of dollars on trust. There is all types. That's literally, it's all kind of trust out there. Renee said the same thing. I send people to my banker. So if you're in the Atlanta area, I have a banker. His name is Kenneth Hayes. He can help you from afar. If y'all need a trust account opened up, go with him. He's at Bank of America. What I will say about these accounts, and I want to go a little deeper in that, when you go to open up these bank accounts, y'all, someone's asking about Texas. Tell me what you mean about Texas. When you all open up these accounts, if you already had an account with that bank, I just want you to know they're going to merge your profiles together because you already had an existing relationship. I don't care if it's 20 years ago. They're going to see at one point in time you had an account with them, and they're going to merge your profiles together. So and this is for my people in my class. We're teaching this on Thursday when we do handling our estates, but I'll give some people here just a quick little thing right quick. You can go back and retitle all your accounts, y'all. Yep. You can go back and retitle all of your bank accounts. It's just a simple notice with the certificate of trust that we just talked about. Certificate of trust are very short. It's not a very long document. It just highlights the gist of your trust without letting everybody know what is in it or what it protects. It's very high level. The main thing is the name, the EIN, the address, what its purpose is, and then also with your, let's say, like lightweightly that you're the grantor or beneficiary, those authoritative things, and then you have permission to act on behalf of the trust. So when these banks asking y'all for all y'all pages and all that stuff, no. Go to another bank. It's too many banks out here. What I will say, if you're going to choose a bank, do not choose a credit union. One, because of the way that you're filing your taxes, you're typically are going to have a lot of money coming through an account that credit unions just aren't used to seeing, and they will freeze your account and send your money back. I'm just telling you, been there, done that. That's how I first started in 2008. I learned the hard way. I went and put it to Police and Fire Federal Credit Union in Philly. Man, these people sent my money back, and I ain't seen that money since. So you don't want your money sent back. So if you don't have a trust account, don't do recoupment. I don't care if you don't use our services. Don't use recoupment. Now, back to KGS, and someone else was asking, Meemaw was asking about our trust. We got a revocable feature in it because it's changeable while you're alive. As a living person, you should have the right to change whatever you want changed. We got the irrevocable feature, which is non-changeable. So after you die, a foundation kicks in for you, meaning we now set up, while you're alive, a foundation that activates upon death as a 508c1a. So what's a 508c1a? 508c1a is a unincorporated nonprofit organization. So many of you all are familiar with the 501c3. The 508c1a has two distinct differences. One is unincorporated, so technically you don't need an EIN for it unless you want to. And then two is designed as a ministry trust. So many of you all have a lot of passions and want to help a lot of people. You start a 508c1a, that particular type of unincorporated business allows for you to have all the same benefits as a 501c3 without going through all the headache of getting a 501c3. So if you ever, I have a 501c3. It took a year to get it granted and all the extra paperwork and all the stuff that they ask. So I just want to be very clear on that stuff, because from a perspective of complexity, if you've never done a 508c1a, KGS is asking that, 508c1a, then unfortunately, you don't know what it's like to have to go through that nonprofit verification process with the IRS. 508c1a cuts all that out. You just register. We teach that in our group. We help you register, help you get your bylaws up and running. You can get your ministry license. So for my people that are here from our current group, I can help y'all get your ministry license. I am Minister Jessica Lewis now. And then it's like $40 or something. And then you basically, now you're a minister, so you can administer weddings, you can officiate things, you can act as a pastor, you can do prison ministry, whatever you'd love to do.
I need that.
I know a lot of people do. It ain't hard to do, but I got you. So a lot of people who just want to be able to really act in your capacity. I know why I'm here on earth. So most of y'all don't know me, but I am in construction. I have a nonprofit. I serve veterans and previously incarcerated people. I love human beings in general. I want to be able to help as many people as possible. And so understanding all of this stuff is really, really important to being able to carry out whatever you feel like your purpose is. For me, I know I'm on earth to help people. My sister actually calls me, Harriet Tubman. She said, girl, you always trying to lead the people to the promised land. And I laugh about it because she's telling the truth. I feel like knowledge is so important, y'all. Like the more we know, the more we can do. Ivory asked, what type of service do I have for previously incarcerated people? My nonprofit focuses on workforce development training, as well as helping them get into real estate. I'm a developer and a builder. So I help people who join my developer classes do all of that. And I focus on the veterans because all the men in my family, I just realized that except my dad and brother were in the military. So I started doing some genealogy stuff and I learned all kind of wonderful things about my family. Shout out to Miguel. Miguel's a genealogy expert. Him and I, we like helping people understand their family trees and things. And so long story short, found out that most of the men in my family were drafted for World War I, Civil Wars, all kind of stuff. And we can talk about that on a whole nother day, y'all, because when you find out your family history, you can go after your family's estates too, y'all. Did y'all know that? If you knew that, put that in the chat if y'all already knew that once you understand your family, you can go after their estates too. So I'm talking
And the
this is
Social Security Administration provides their Social Security numbers. So when you get to finding out your ancestors to a certain point, they all the information when they're born and their Social Security numbers will be listed. I got my second and third great grandparents' Social Security numbers.
yes. Guess what, Miguel? I got that one. I went to National Archives, and National Archives, y'all, is a database of all of our everything here in the United States, or even if you're not in the United States, it's the world's database. So if y'all know of LexisNexis, who got all your data here, National Archives is like a whole nother level of database stuff. Everything we do is in some kind of database somewhere, y'all. So don't ever think we really live in private. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Everything we do, if you signed up for a frequent shopper card, now is in some database, most likely in LexisNexis here in the United States. So anyway, I went to National Archives, and this one database that they had in there actually was showing me my family's Social Security number, because a part of the genealogy, and when you're doing ancestral lineage searching, sometimes there was a Social Security application, and that's in that database. So you want to get that done quicker and faster, Miguel, try to go to a National Archive, and National Archive is only 13 locations nationwide. We happen to have one in Atlanta, is one in DC, like Chicago area, St. Louis area. So just look nationalarchive.gov up, y'all, and you can actually go and find your old family members' information. Do your family tree. It's important. I'm going to scroll through some of these questions, and I'm going to get back to our trust stuff. Someone says, I'm looking for more information on mine, and I have all their Social Security number and death certificates. You sitting on money, MONJ. You don't even know. Okay. Somebody back here said, what kind of, okay, that was the previous incarcerated. Someone said, I have a certificate of trust, a UCC1 file, and a apostille birth certificate. All my forms are filed with the IRS. How do you join us? Just send me a message. Y'all can text me 445-252-7898. All right, I think I answered most of the questions. I'm trying to multitask, y'all. All right, cool. So I think I caught up on everybody. So when we're talking about our trust, we got the revocable, irrevocable. Hey, what's up? What's up, Court? And we have a spendthrift piece. So the spendthrift, just so y'all know what that is, because there's so many types of trust. I don't want y'all to get overwhelmed with the trust stuff, but there's a lot of trust, and that's why we created a master trust, so it had all the features. That way people don't have to get confused. They got everything all in one. So the spendthrift is a trust that's created for the benefit of a person that gives an independent trustee full authority to make decisions as to how the trust funds may be spent for the benefit of the beneficiary. Creditors of the beneficiary generally cannot reach the funds in the trust, and the funds are not actually under the control of the beneficiary. Y'all heard that? What they say, own nothing, control everything. The creator of a trust is often called the trustor, grantor, or settler. So all of our trusts have the spendthrift component in it because you are the beneficiary. But guess what? As the beneficiary, that does not give permission to other creditors who think they are the creditor. Remember, you are the creditor. It begins and ends with you. And I'm not saying we're God, but we're God-like, okay? Or maybe we are God bodies. Look, I know what I know. I ain't gonna have that conversation today. And so with that being said, the spendthrift gives you the grantor trustee. It gives you all those full powers as a beneficiary and trustee, but it doesn't allow for other people to come and attack you. So why is a trust important? And I'll get back to other features of our trust. The trust is important for a number of reasons, guys. If you live on this earth, you need to have a trust. So as much as people have like this mindset of, I don't have nothing, I don't own nothing. Guess what? You have a birth certificate, you have a social security number. Those are two most important security instruments that one can have in this world. Because guess what? They've been trading on your social security number and card and birth certificate number since you were born. Okay? So I'm going to tell you the things that you may or may not know. They've been trading on your stuff for a long time now. Okay? So knowing that, that's where your power begins. And we'll talk about UCC1 shortly. In between time, when we're talking about this trust stuff, though, you have that beginning power. Those are two of the most powerful things you can own here in the United States. And if you are naturalized, if you are here on a work permit, or if you are a green card holder, those things are your most important things based off of your status here in the United States. Now, I'm going to say that most things apply internationally, but I'm focusing on the United States because that's where we are. I can't really speak on anything else. Now, back to our trust. Our master trust also has the dynasty feature in it. So what does that mean? A dynasty trust is what the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all those people who control our earth. I'm going to say the earth because everything, if y'all understand anything about history, what we learned in school is not what it is, y'all. What has occurred is that there's certain families that control everything in our universe, and we're just puppets in their play. But not anymore, because you're learning this right now. So this is how you regain your proper power. So now when we talk about this, the dynasty piece, dynasty trusts are designed to protect your family generations to come. And we have a special feature in there that also adds the fact that if something happens and there's no more generations, that the trust still stays intact in perpetuity, meaning forever and ever. So it's not just those 10 generations, which is what you know a dynasty trust to be, but it stays intact regardless. Okay. So that's where all of that comes into play. These are the trusts that we have. We also have other features built into our trust to, if you got some lazy family members that just want to, we all wealthy. Once y'all find your wealthy place, y'all don't need to ever go back there. So your family going to be plotting and scheming. And I'm keeping it real with y'all. We know how our families are. So this is to ensure that in your future generations, they can't just be the ones that wake up every day and just have no purpose on earth. So we have other features built into our trust, which you all can do the same. Everything I'm telling you guys, y'all can do it on your own. You don't need us. But the trust is designed, one, to make sure they either go to college, have a job, work in the family business, or have some kind of other business going on. So your beneficiaries and your trust that we have set up for you is designed that if they decide to be a bum, they won't receive not one red cent. So for all of y'all who are carrying y'all families right now, they won't after death if you got our trust set up. Okay. And then the last component of our trust is also around how we kind of incorporate the trust setup in general. So the structure itself is designed for you to fully benefit from it while you're alive, because you are the trustee, grantor, all those titles. But then it also gives you that extra benefit of being able to easily move towards transferring all your assets and all your great things that you want to have behind to whoever's the future generations. And I'm single with no children, so I'm going to talk to us single and no children people for a second. For starters, by me not having children and not being married, you're probably like, well, Jessica, you're going to have all this stuff. Who are you going to pass it on to? Your beneficiary when it comes to a trust can be anybody. Anybody. It does not matter who they are. It can be anybody, right? And then the other side to it, you can have a co-trustee, which is something we have built into our thing. So if I'm incapacitated or I become incompetent in some way, so that's mental, physical, whatever, I have it in place who will take over for me in that case. Okay? So think of a will, think of a trust kind of like a will that has all your everything in it. Now, someone asked about recording in the public. You could create another version of your trust and record it on the will in probate if you want it to be in the public somewhere. And the only reason why people are doing a will as well as a trust is for that same reason. So you never want to expose what's in your trust, right? But the other side to it is that you could very much so do that if you wanted to via a will in probate now. Only challenges is that as you're growing into your wealthy place and you're accumulating more assets, you'll have to keep updating your will. So you can do that now so that you can put people on notice. So a will is a form of type of notice that you can actually provide to the public to say, hey, this is what I do have. And whatever's on that will is whatever's on that will. It may not be the same thing that's in your trust. So that's how you do the okie doke when you're creditors, the fake people trying to steal your stuff. All right, so that's that piece. And then we go back to our list of things. So one, we already talked about anything tax related. We talked about anything job and business related. Now some other things that y'all could be creating or accepting is things in relation to other people. So I did have a conversation with a gentleman, not sure if he's on a call today, but he wants to stay private. And with the private piece, that means that sometimes he had asked other people to act on his behalf. So let's just say he sent money to another person. That another person may have paid a bill for him. He had examples of getting his stuff in other. So I got a better example. Athletes and a lot of rappers and especially drug dealers have a tendency to put their stuff in other people's names so nobody else can come after them. But then what if that is person you put all their stuff, your stuff in their name is the person that's coming after you? Did y'all think about that? I'm just saying. I just had to put that out there. Tell me if you thought about that in the chat. You know, tell me if that came across your mind. That if you thought that I'm going to put XYZ in whoever's name, and then that one person turn on you, what is you going to do? Did y'all think about that? I'm just a common sense person. You know what I'm saying? So with what all I'm saying right here is my point in bringing that up is you don't need to put anything in anybody else's name once your trust is set up and once your assets are protected. Okay. So I just want y'all to understand that piece, because I think, in my opinion, I think we're overthinking the concept of ownership. That language that I mentioned earlier, you own nothing, you control everything. That's where those trusts come into play, y'all. So y'all don't have to finagle things and put things in your child's name and your mom's name. You don't have to do that. Nobody who has wealth does that. Just so we clear. Because guess what? The one thing, what we like to do, what's the first thing we do? We go name our trust after us. We go name our businesses in our own birth names. How do you think people find you? It's not that hard, guys. It's just a matter of the fact that you went and put your stuff all out in the open. Now they know it's you. Okay? This is why they know it's you, because you want a bag. I'm Jessica Lewis. You know, that's you understand? So you got to get out that mindset. You are still the owner, regardless if your name is on the trust or not, y'all. So let's talk about trust name for a second. This is important. Okay? I have several trusts. I do have trusts that are in my name, but none of them are public until they have to be. So right now I'm dealing with a legal case with a county government, and they think they can just use my name. You kidding me? They think they can just use my name. My names are copywritten and they're under trust. So I say all that to say, when you're going to choose a name for your trust, you have to pick a name that is private, y'all. No one should just, this says winning in these streets. That's my favorite line. Winning in these streets. Nobody should be able to read your shirt and know that it says winning in these streets. So when y'all thinking about names, start with the English version and then translate it to Latin. Why Latin? Because that language is an unspoken language of banking. Latin. Most things, even when I just did the etymology, think about if y'all were looking where it starts in English and it has a Latin version, it had a Hebrew version. Hebrew is ecclesiastical and it's religious. Latin is that's the banking information. That's the banking language. So y'all need to understand deeper beyond, I want it to be called, Jessica Maria Lewis Trust. That's okay. But you also need to have an alternate name that nobody recognizes, but it's a special language between corporation to corporation. So moving forward, to act in your corporation, you have to be using your trust, y'all. So I know, I don't care how much money you get. What just happened? Hold on, y'all. I don't know what just happened. Something about, they were saying something about, they was about to end the live due to inactivity. But with the banking language, it's unspoken. And when they see your trust having that name, they know you know what you're talking about. Again, we want to act in our authority. So even when we're going in and we got that name, they know what's up. They know you're a boss. They know you're the trustee. They know you're the grantor, the executor, the administrator. They know all of that, okay? And so by them knowing that, you can have a better relationship with your bank. Now, let's go back to our list, because this list is long, y'all. So y'all had no excuse to not find no money. Y'all sitting on $1 million. I know you are. I know you are. Okay? So other things, receipts and deposit slips. So some of y'all may go to an ATM. Some of y'all, I don't know, you may use what you call it, MoneyGram, Western Union. I don't know if you're sending money abroad, because I have some clients that are from Africa and other countries. If you're sending money abroad, keep those receipts. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, other things, medical bills, emergency room, if you ever had to get a, you call it ambulance, all that stuff. And for whatever you don't have, I think I mentioned this earlier, you can recreate a document, but it has to be within reason. So just so we are clear, y'all, don't recreate documents that are out of thin air. Like, let it really have been something that you really truly have to recreate. Now let's talk about, how do you find these documents? So that's really important, because I think a lot of people may not really understand the recoupment process and how it relates to documentation, and also how to find that documentation. So Miguel, I know you said you had questions earlier. I'll breathe for a second to see if anybody has any more questions in the chat. And then also, if you had questions or anybody else, y'all can come up. As long as we stay on topic, I don't mind. Y'all wanting to be invited to be up here on this co-hosting thing. But more importantly, I want y'all to make sure, you know, that y'all can get y'all questions answered. Any other questions? Well, I'll take a couple sips. All right. So how do I find these things? All of these documents, you know, our list was long. I said about probably close to 50 things. The first thing y'all can do, as I mentioned earlier, go to irs.gov. When you log into irs.gov, you're going to click on, hold on, let me pull it open. You're going to click on, let me log in, because I told you I would show y'all my tax return anyway. Hold on. Let me wait for this text. Any other questions? All right, solid. So when you log into irs.gov, so I'm gonna show y'all this. I don't have my I usually have a little platform thing, but I don't have one today. So when you log in to irs.gov, I'll let that finish loading. You click on records and status, then you click on tax records. Now, y'all asked me about my refunds. I can actually show you the return shortly, but this is for 2025. This is 2024. What is this thing doing? That's for 2024. Okay. And I can show you in a second the transcript for these so y'all can see all of that. So here, when we're talking about account transcripts, this back office of the IRS has 4 sections. Let me pull this out. You have account transcripts up here. You got return transcripts there, record of account here, and wage and income transcript. So the part we want to focus on is wage and income transcript. Why? Because when you're doing wage and income transcripts, this should show any filings that you have done or somebody else has done. So if I click on here, and we're going to back up and let this load here. And I just so you know it's here. Today is the 22nd, right? And this is from tax year 2025. So if y'all don't understand, and that's my last for my social, if y'all don't understand this, the IRS does years in the errors, meaning there's always going to be 1 year behind when a filing is done. So we are in 2026, and as you all know, you all just filed 2025, right? Okay, so here, and we are in the year 25. This is a 1099-A digital asset proceeds from broker transaction. And this is for, I don't know who these people are. I never even seen this. FORI. I don't know who these folks are. I would lie to y'all, but I don't know who they are. That could be like crypto or something. So this here is 110 pages, just so we clear y'all. Y'all have to, when y'all do y'all taxes, it can get pretty complex. So I'm just going to skip through this a little bit to find something that actually is applicable to our conversation. Let's go here. Good Lord, he's a lot. I must have been trading up a storm last year. I swear none of this was in here before. This is hilarious. Look, I'm learning something new today, y'all.
Sheesh.
That's what I'm saying. Look, the blood clot. All right, here go one. I'm about to say, as I sat up here and did all this, I was trying to find one that's applicable to this conversation. Oh, no, this is more of the same thing. All of this is investing. Okay, here's my 1099-A. About to say, they killing me today. So here, the lender was U.S. Department of Treasury. So a lot of y'all, I'm going to talk about the A for the second. So the 1099-A is a form used for acquisition and abandonment. So for any of you who are doing this recoupment process, you may have done it in the past. I'm going to just focus on this right here and right now, okay? So when I hear people tell me, what is this one for? Oh, here's another 1099-A. So when I talk to people and I hear them tell me they've done these processes in the past, if you never got a refund, there was something that you could have done wrong, okay? I just want that piece to be very clear. There is something that you may have done wrong, okay? Thank you, O. I don't even know what all those transactions was. I never even seen all those before. But my point is when you're doing the 1099-A, it stands for acquisition or abandonment of secure property. So anything you all do is considered secure property. So a part of this recoupment process is you are going to file a 1099-A. Now, the reason why you're doing that is because when you do the 1099-A, a lot of people who have gotten as far as doing the B's and OIDs, but try to understand how come the A never came down. It's because, I mean, your refund, your credits, and everything is credits, y'all. There's no real money. I know I didn't say that yet on this call, but your credits don't come down because you didn't do all the paperwork that goes along with that. Okay. So this here for this particular year, my total transactions for the year was this amount. So this is my bank statements, my credit, whatever I had going on. That's what this amount is. Okay. You see here, that's me as the lender and me as the borrower. So people ask, well, how come, my money didn't come? Because you never did the A for it, y'all. The A is designed to release, acquire the credits that are stuck in the universe wherever they are. Okay. Your banks do the 1099-A as abandonment. They tell the IRS that, oh yeah, Jessica, she made some deposits, but she ain't never come back for the money. So when you're doing an A, the reason why sometimes your money is not coming all the way down is because of that. Okay, so that's an A. So y'all saw my refund. We can go back here. Where was that at? Hold on. Tax records. My refund here, 6,574,634 was based off of the amount here and including some other amounts. Okay. So I want y'all to understand when you're doing an A, you may have missed something. Here's another A. This one is from the Department of Treasury, U.S. Department of Treasury. They're the lender. I was the borrower. Okay. And this is based off of certain transactions. So if this, to me, this was one bank. I can't remember what bank it was. This was one of my banks. So when you're filling out the A, depending on how you fill it out, that ultimately determines, right? What does this say? IBOE, Bill of Exchange. Oh, this was for my Tesla. That's what this one is for. I had to remember what the amount was for. So this is for my Tesla. Okay. So when you're talking about, again, if you don't put certain things on record, the IRS does not know. So you don't become the creditor and have do stuff. So a part of what we do in our group is I educate you and hold your hand through all these processes. Okay. So we're not just doing what we're not allowing them to just do whatever they want to us. If we never step in and we take our rightful place, they're going to just kind of do whatever they want. And that's because they can. I'm just being real with you. Okay. When you correct the record, that's how that goes. So back to what we were doing, which was looking at wage and income transcripts. Now, I want to show you all a return transcript. So when you log into your portal and you see these things, it's because it has actually been processed. So people have done A's, B's, and OIDs, and they'll come in here and it's not showing. It's because it was never processed as a credit. Okay. So I'm going to click on here. Make sure this is the right one I wanted to look for. It can be. Hold on. I wanted to show y'all something else. Nope, not this one. Hold on. Let's do account transcript for 25. So EN means English. ES means Espanol, Spanish. Okay. So this was for what year? This is for 2025. This is the refund amount there. Okay. 2025 account balance. When it's in a negative, it's a refund. Okay. And I just wanted to scroll through some of these. Let's see. So just to teach y'all what some of this stuff means as well. A couple things when you're going to do your tax recoupment process. Good question, Corey. Corey asked, what do I say when I have to go in for verification? Take a copy of your tax return, and everything else is either going to be on your tax return filing, or it's going to be things you already know. Meaning it's going to be your name, your social, your address. So they start off by asking you the basic things, which are like personally identifying informations, meaning things you would only know. They may even ask something personal about you because they're verifying your identity. After they verify your identity, they then go and they're going to ask you things off of your tax return. So I'll show you guys. We use Free Tax USA. So I don't want y'all to think I'm doing no rocket science. We do use Free Tax USA. I'm going to log in here right quick. After you, hold on. After you file, for those who are a part of our group, or if you are going to do your thing yourself, you can come in here, click on view your forms. Here it says federal tax return, and you can download it. Okay, so you download it. It's going to save up here. You can save it and you can open it up. So when you go into there, they're going to ask you questions. Any questions they ask about your tax return, just have your tax return in front of you and say, can you tell me what line that's on? And they'll say, oh, it's on line 11. Then you look at the forms. It says the form starts at 1 and then it goes all the way through everything else. Okay. And so if you're not sure, ask them what line it's on, look at your actual return and read directly off of your return. Okay. So we're not making things complicated for ourselves. Read off of your return. Don't try to guess these numbers, because if you get these answers wrong, they are going to block your refund. Okay. So I just wanted to put that part out there right quick. So if you're using Free Tax USA, it don't matter the year. Just change it from whatever year you need and come in here and click on view your forms, click download, and then it'll be there. Okay. Now back to the IRS site. So here, this is pretty much the end, but I wanted to break down this form for you guys. So tax return filed, y'all can see it was filed 5/11/2026, and for that amount there, right? And then here, W-2 or 1099 withholding, the $6 million that I showed y'all. Remember, everything is backup withholding. So the times 10, you get up to 10 back with all of these companies. If you're joining in my group, we start off with the times 1 because I just want to help you gain access to your actual trust account before you start going crazy. Okay? Baby steps. Accessing your trust account isn't hard, but you should ease your way into it so that you're going to be successful with it. Okay? Here, additional actions pending. Around this time is when they ask me to verify my identity, and right now I'm currently waiting for my refund, and it should be about 2 more weeks. So when you do the identity verification part, it's going to be 2 weeks, air quote, of them, I guess, doing whatever fake updates they need to do. They're updating it while you're talking to them, by the way, just so we clear. But they tell it's going to take 2 weeks for that. And then after the 2 weeks, they tell you it's going to take an additional 7 weeks for you to get your refund. Guess what, y'all? We ain't even playing with them this year. So to end this off, they just sent me this on May 18th to let me know that they're going to continue with the process of my refund. Okay. And then I'm going to come back here so y'all can see my face. We're not playing with them this year. Okay. So the IRS, I know we have a spirit of fear against them, but we're not playing games with them this year. So I got some friends in high places. If you're a part of our team and they try to hit you with the, we need this, or we ain't going to keep going back and forth with them. We're not going to keep letting them tell us 60 days, 90 days. We're not doing that, because I've had returns sometimes because I didn't want to fight with them. Take 2 years to receive. And I don't know about you, but I may not be here in 2 years. Who the heck is sitting around waiting 2 years to get some daggone money? So we're not playing with them this year. So if you're a part of our team, anybody that's on here that's a part of our group already, if you are having challenges after you do your verification process, most people are going to have to do verification process. Why? One, because we know y'all gangsters. Y'all know taxes are voluntary. So of course you're not going to, oh no, we ain't got time for that. We gonna hook that right on up, Corey. Well, you already know we handled that already anyway. So you're not waiting 4 years now. You got to do from the time frame that me and you did what we did to fix it. Okay. And then we're going to file complaints. So I can tell you the joy of filing a complaint. And then we'll go back to the IRS stuff. So the joy of filing a complaint with Senate, y'all. You ever thought you was a gangster until you met a gangster? Can you tell me if you a gangster and then you met a real gangster, you back down from being a gangster? Okay? So let me say this. I filed a complaint with my local senator. So when it's time for any type of complaints to be filed, you have to go with whoever your local federal politician is, okay? Your local federal politician is your friend. You want to know why? Because even if you ain't vote, I don't vote, they're still the elected official for we the people. So I filed a complaint. I'm going to say today's 22nd on the 1st of June, right? 2 weeks later, they was on it. They done what they do. I'm gonna tell you what happens. They're going to assign somebody to your case when you file a complaint. They then are going to ask you to do a privacy release, which gives them permission to act on your behalf, and then they're going to contact that federal government agency directly for you. And let's just say you can use this for anything. You don't have to just use this just for this tax stuff. So if you're going through something right now and your stuff is lined up, I don't file complaints if I ain't being a boss. So what does being a boss mean? It means that you got all your paperwork, you got all your things lined up. So when you hand it over to your congressperson or your senator, they can pick up where you left off. So I'm just being honest with you, when you're handling your estate, y'all, being organized is so important. So you cannot say, well, I'm just going to file a complaint. No, don't just file a complaint. Make sure you did all that you could do on your side, and now you're ready to pass the baton over to these politicians. And the reason why I say that, I'm just keeping it real with y'all. If y'all not being real with yourselves about how you've been handling your business, then you're misrepresenting yourself as a boss, as the administrator, as the executor, as the grantor. Because this is a trust transaction, okay? So this is not about nothing else than you being a trustee and being able to do what you have to do to be able to complete this process. And if you want them to work on your behalf, everybody works for us, y'all. So I don't want y'all to think that these folks only gonna, act on your behalf in certain situations. No, they work for you. They're elected officials specifically for wherever you live at. That's their job. That's all. If you know anything about politics, please don't get it twisted. These elections ain't real. And I hope they don't ban me for saying all the things I'm about to say. These elections are not real. So all this standing in line and the heat and all that stuff, cold, did y'all be doing to go elect? These people are pre-elected. They know who they're going to put in office before they even get in office. And once they're in office, they know if they're a certain type of puppet, they're going to keep them in offices so that they can do whatever they want them to do. But guess what? It's the same for you. You have the power to do the same thing. You can make them do they're your puppets. All right, let's be gangster right now. They're your puppets too. You hear me? They are your puppets too. So just like the government uses these political people as puppets, they're your puppets too. They work for you. So what I mean is you're going to make them do what you want them to do. But as a boss, because you're professional, you're going to act in your trustee capacity, and you're going to tell them, hi, I'm Jessica Lewis. My trust is XYZ. I had this experience with this federal agency, and now I need you to pick up where I left off. You write it plain, make it clear, and you file your complaint. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to pick up where you left off because you have a good start. If you don't remember anything else about this live, remember that you always have to be in honor. So I'm not a bully. I don't want people to be fearful of me, but Chief Tan is in a chat. He said that's their fiduciary responsibility. Okay? And that has nothing to do with status correction. It's a fact of life. These people signed up for these positions, and you as the creditor who contributes to the national debt because you want to do your tax recoupment process. That's how our fake debt we got. Yeah, that's how you contribute to that. Every time you pay a bill, you're contributing to the government's debt. You're an enemy of the state. Now, let me be very clear, because some of you have contacted me and y'all stop paying y'all bills because y'all listening to these gurus, and that's fine if you know what you're doing. But don't be not paying your bills and now your home is carless and hot, because it's too hot. It's 106 degrees where I'm at right now. I don't know how hot it is where you are, but I can't afford not to have air conditioning. I'm going to melt fully like chocolate. I will melt. And I just don't want y'all to be in that situation, because really, if you're not acting in your power, you're powerless and you're not going to proceed. PPP. We want you to be powerful, prominent, and proceeding. Okay? So act in your capacity. Hand it off to them when the time is right. So the tax stuff can easily be completed. Okay? Okay. So Love My Peace said the IRS has been sending me 941 forms saying they need more time. No, they don't. Send a complaint. Ain't nobody got time for that. First of all, y'all, if y'all owe the IRS, how many chances they gonna get y'all to pay? Only one. And they gonna tell you may got 30, 60, 90 days. After that, they gonna send another one and another one. And guess what? It's earning interest and penalties by the day, y'all, compounded. So why are we giving them this same kind of energy? You know what I'm saying? No, it is a stall tactic, Chief. It's a stall tactic. So we're not about to sit up here and give them all these passes. No, we're not doing that, y'all. File a complaint. Look up the language you're going to use, and I'll show you. You already know I'm going to show y'all. I got you. Let's have some fun. We're going to call, this is going to be a search for find my local politician. Okay. Who represents me? It's so many sites. You just have to find the right one for you. So for the state of Arizona, it's azleg.gov. That's typically how you know it's a official government site, is .gov, okay? However, there are other sites, maybe like this person, this site. Let's click on them. And you can put your address in. Hold on. Yeah, we ain't got time for that. You can put your address in and it can look it up that way. Okay? That's how you find your local reps. Easy. Now, once you find their sites, once you go on there, they all have a complaint section, okay? Every last one of them have a complaint section that all you have to do is click on and you'll be able to start your complaint. My suggestion is write off the complaint, what it is that you want to have happen. You have to tell a story. Everything's about storytelling. And I'll get back to our recoupment stuff in a second, because that's a story as well. When you're talking about filing a complaint, you have to tell a story. Start with the beginning, the ending, the middle, and the end, and what you want to have happen. Okay? I've filed taxes 3 years ago. It's been 2 years. Still ain't got nothing left. All right. I need y'all to help me. This is the communication that I've received. So however many letters they may have sent you, if you have that, don't throw anything from the IRS away, y'all. Let's start with that. It may turn into some money for you. But my point is make sure you have a beginning, middle, and end, and what your expectations are from them helping you. Okay? When you contact them, you want to press submit. You'll get verification that they have received your complaint. From there, they're going to assign somebody to contact you. They're going to ask you to do a privacy release, which gives them POA to be able to act on your behalf to this agency. And then from there, you are then going to let them do what they do, honey. and you just wait. I don't rush them either. Now, these are people I don't rush. You want to know why? Because if a politician calls these federal agencies, they gonna answer the phone. They may ignore you and all that you do, all the A's and B's and OIDs and cover letters and affidavits, all the stuff you did. They may do all of that. However, they don't do that to the politicians. Everybody has a boss, y'all. You're your boss of your life. And if you are a believer, then God, Yahweh, fill in the blank, is your boss. And so if you don't, it's okay too. You may be the God of your life, whatever that looks like. My point is that everybody has a boss, okay? And when you have a boss, guess what they got to do? They got to listen to their boss. Their bosses, Congress created all these laws that I told you about today. USC means U.S. Code, United States Code. UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. And guess what? UCC is international. So it's not just here in the United States. Yes, thank you. Chief said, stick to the facts. Don't get emotional with this, y'all. This is Art of War. And if you've never read that, I encourage you to maybe get the annotated version, whatever. Read Art of War, 48 Laws of Power. You fill in the blanks. They're all the same types of books that help you keep your mind in the game. You taking it personal, but you are one in however hundreds of millions of people are in this world. I'm not saying we're not special. I'm just telling you that they do the same to everybody. So you taking it personally is a waste of your own energy that you can't now use to do what you got to do, like filing complaints. Okay? Don't let them slide. They ain't going to let you slide. And more importantly, which is what I do want to show you. Let me find this for y'all right quick. I want y'all to understand this part. I'm trying to find an internal revenue code so I can show you how taxes are truly voluntary. Okay, so I don't want y'all to think that anything we talked about today is anything other than truth. I have so many documents in here. This was a humbug thought that I just had to show y'all how the IRS taxes are voluntary, but the reason why you file is because they owe you. It's not the other way around. So they work for you too. Okay. Let me find it by the end of our live. I gotta open up the IRC code. The Internal Revenue Code manual is thousands of pages. So give me a second. It's actually on the first couple pages, because I think a lot of people kind of feel like, you know, that they should be fearful of the IRS. But if nothing else, I'm going to show you where it is truly voluntary so that you're able to move forth in power. Okay. Somebody like you said, I do have to go. Okay. Yes. So that's something really important to understand, y'all. When y'all doing these recoupment processes, you have to do all the forms. So all the forms include A, B's, and OIDs. I'm going to start with that. So if y'all aren't doing all three, you already messed up. But it's okay. It ain't too late. You can go back. So the other part is a lot of people think that you can only file every 3-year little time frame, and that's not true at all. And so you can file, you can go back as far as you can prove any documentation you have, okay? So don't be, again, they say certain things as a rule of thumb, but these rules don't apply to you because you're the boss, right? I want y'all to keep that in mind. Every time you look in the mirror, know you the boss, okay? All right, let me try to find this right quick. Give me a couple minutes. Anybody got any questions? If you want to come up and join, you can join. And we can figure all this stuff out. Any questions y'all have? Let me see how far back up. Because some of my mentors, man, stuff they put me on to, I'd be like, ooh, I didn't even know It's fun. It is so fun, y'all. And once y'all get more comfortable, with all of these things, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's less stressful. It's less fearful. You literally, it's just a matter of you understanding the information to be able to do what you got to do. What forms do you send in to get recoupment? A, B, and OID, Angie. Jessica Williams, what do I do to stop job from continuing having withholdings from paycheck? The W-4, and you have to mark exempt in number 4 on your W-4. Okay, so all of y'all who have jobs, ask for the W-4 tomorrow, okay? When you go into your job tomorrow, ask for that W-4, okay? I don't understand what's happening. Ask for the W-4 to stop withholdings, okay? That is the most important thing. Y'all, can I be honest? AI is all good until AI messes up your whole Google Drive. So I call myself, I'm being honest, federal withholding only. Yes. Chief 10 says federal withholding. So I asked Claude to fix my Google Drive, y'all, and I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't a good decision because they mixed all my documents up. I mean, all my stuff is mixed up. And you know how some people just have organized chaos? I was one of them people. And then I thought that I was doing something using Claude, and Claude just got me all jacked up right now. I can't find a thing. This is crazy. Give me a second, y'all. I need a moment of silence so I can try to find this form for y'all. And then we're going to go into reading what the 1099A, B, and OID is so that y'all can understand why we use those forms, okay? Give me a second. Because I'm not going to lie. I can't find this IRC manual. So for a person that was Jessica, she was just asking about the W-2, the Public Salary Tax Act of 1839. It's about 15 pages long, and I'll show you that right quick since it just popped up on my thing. I'll just show you that right quick. That's what this is. That's where that comes from. So y'all can read that in support of you acting in your power and telling them to change your wages and withholding. Okay. All right, let's go back here. I know it didn't delete it. What's going on? This is crazy. And unfortunately, I can't even undo it. Maybe I could. Let me see. I just wanted to show y'all from the actual Internal Revenue Code manual where it says that taxes are voluntary. So I don't want y'all to think this is something that I'm coming up with. It literally says it in their own code. So I'm trying to find my, I have an old Internal Revenue whole thing, y'all. Let's see. Help me, Lord. I also want to show y'all this too. So if y'all want to know why you can do the recoupment, there was a, and this is real. So don't let them tell y'all that this is not real. Okay. Here it says on March 5th, a charge of tax evasion was filed in U.S. court in Indianapolis, Indiana by U.S. Attorney George Duncan. The charges were dismissed. The defense attorney, Lowell B. Craft of Huntsville, presented irrefutable evidence that the 16th Amendment to the United States was never properly ratified. This amendment, which established the income tax, was signed into law despite serious defects. In reality, only 2 states ratified the amendment, and ratification requires 36 states to be valid. The effect of this is such that every tax paid into the treasury since 1913 is due and refundable to every citizen and business. The official position of the service is, as it has always been, to aid and assist the citizens of the United States. We will not publish or advertise this finding, and a total immediate refund will cause a serious drain on the resources of the Treasury. So for those citizens who become aware of this finding and apply for a refund, it will be expedited and quickly and quietly refunded to them. Okay? Here, let me make it larger for the people in the back. A simple 1040X form will suffice until a new form is designed and printed. Advise each of your managers that they are not to discuss this situation with anyone. There will be no written communication, and you are to destroy this memo. The Secretary of the Treasury assures me that there will be no reduction in the workforce, as this refunding activity will take a minimum of 5 years to complete. So this person here, Roscoe Egger, was the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service during that time. And you definitely, without a doubt, okay, need to look this man up, because he, during his term of the IRS, unveiled a lot of things. He really thought that the IRS was how he thought it was. And he tried his best while he was in these positions to be able to actually move forth and make things right for us. So he probably is the only one that did that. So look this name up, Roscoe Egger. Someone asked, when we actually do recoupment, what do we utilize this for? We can't just pull this money out, right? Well, everything in our world, Ivory, is credits, and it will come into the form of your bank account as a credit that you can use however you want. And it has to go into a trust account, okay? So you cannot send it to a personal account. You cannot send it to a business account. It has to go into a trust account, okay? So I want to put that piece out there. This is crazy. Man, Claw got me all jacked up in here, y'all. And so let me put this down. Talib Soul said, is it being recorded? No, but my understanding is as soon as I've stopped my live, it will give me a copy of this. I will put it on YouTube for y'all, and y'all can come back and look at it as much as you like. And you make sure you share it now. You don't share Talib Soul, and then I'm going to be mad at you, okay? But I do appreciate that about TikTok Live, because if you on here for hours, and you saw how, if y'all been on here for the last 2 hours with me, y'all know I've been going in all this time, and to not have a copy of this, oh my gosh, this is like gold right now. Hold on a second, y'all. I need 2 more minutes. So I'm getting silent because I need to find, hey Anthony, I need to find this IRS manual. Let me see if I can find it maybe on their website. It's different versions of the manual that I have. So the one I have is the original from like 1800s. Sorry if y'all hear little babies in the background. Let me find this for y'all. This is weird. IRC. IRS. Somebody said they remember the W4 used to have it. It's my name, Angie. It's my name. If you DM me, I'll send you the direct link. I'm new to all this social media stuff, so I will make sure I get this record. Here we go. 1879 IRS manual. I knew it was in here somewhere. I had to go through Telegram to find that, y'all. Me and my mentors, we share a lot of stuff. It's downloading right now. So I wanted to show y'all that taxes is truly voluntary. I don't want y'all to be stressed about the IRS when everything we do is because we want to do it. Every contract we signed up for, we have to take responsibility, self-responsibility for the fact that we signed up with these different agencies, so from that perspective, we have to, make sure that we're acting in honor. We can't say, oh, I can't believe they're doing this to us. But then at the same time, we signed up for stuff, Yeah, you can do it through ADP. That's okay. Your job's not going. It's whoever their payroll people are. So that would be accurate. Give me 1 second. So this manual is from 1876. This is when they first started doing taxes. So I always want y'all to understand they purposely revise publications to fit their needs and their narratives. So it's best when you're going to buck up against them, you got to have some of these original documents, okay? Give me 1 second. I ain't letting nobody up here no more. Y'all messed that up for the day. I don't know y'all personally. I am not letting y'all co-host with me, okay? Let's see. Trying to find what I'm looking for. Thanks, Chief Tan. Thank you for helping Miss Jessica out there. I gotta go to, this book doesn't have an index, y'all, so give me a second. It'd be helpful if they had an index. Maybe I missed it. Let me see. Table contents. Here we go. Employment, general instructions, general duties, elimination of elective offices, checks, legacies. Oh, this is not the one I needed anyway. Hold on, y'all. You know what? Maybe it's on here. Internal. I'm just gonna go do a Google search. Code manual, because I probably found it already. I want an old book, Title 26. Yeah, this is it. All right, so if anybody wants a copy of this book here, this is Title 26, which basically regulates the Internal Revenue. I know this is not some random thing you just want to read, but telling you, y'all got to know these definitions. I'm trying to find something in particular, though. I have all these definition pages. Let's see. Let's try this. I don't want to download that, but I feel like I need to come back to. Hold on. Thank y'all for your patience. How y'all doing out there? Y'all still alive? Got you, Lorraine. So I'm gonna show y'all something in a second. This is hilarious. Hold on. Give me a second. No. Y'all crazy people not get on my live. We ain't doing that today. What did I look up? Hold on, y'all. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3. I want to show y'all something funny in a second, y'all. Hold on. Because I'm cracking up. Y'all got to see what I just saw. Y'all gonna laugh so hard. It's hilarious. How big? So in their new version of their Internal Revenue Code, they got their mission so big and bold to make you think you gotta pay taxes. But I need to find this old version. Hold on. Because certain things, once they change it, even though they're supposed to keep every copy, they don't. And that's because if you see an old version, it still exists even if they amended it. Okay? I gotta find this. Y'all cracking up when I show y'all these two different versions. Oh, why can't I find it? Where's it at? Oh. Give me a second. DM me if y'all want a copy. I saw I see that popping up, but I'm multitasking, so I'm trying to find something in particular. I wanted to show y'all what the original Internal Revenue Code said about taxes and what it shows now, so y'all can see how they purposely changed the language from what it was originally designed to do. So give me a second. I gotta go through another document here. Give me a second. I gotta go on this. All my documents is thousands of pages long, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Help me, Lord. That's what I get for trying to show y'all something on the fly. Page 323. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me double check. 323. 323. That's It's not page 323. Oh, here it goes. Coming up. Give me a second. Almost there. Let's see. Oh, that sucks. And something I just read that had me a reminder. Don't call yourself sovereign citizens, y'all. The federal government purposely put something out, IRS, FBI, everybody, that says that if you say you're a sovereign citizen, they're going to tell you that you're a terrorist, okay? So please, please, please don't do that, y'all. Let's see. Oh, I cannot find this quickly. Hold on, y'all. Let's go back here. I know my recording that I had. I can see. I'll add the recording to YouTube, but I have a recording that shows exactly where in their manual that it says it's voluntary. But I wanted to also show y'all. I don't want to hold y'all hostage this long trying to find this one thing. But on their website now, look how big this says. What it says. It says provide America's taxpayers top quality service by helping them understand and meet their tax responsibilities and enforce the law with integrity and fairness. What? Yo, you can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, they definitely coming up with some crazy stuff. So if we get back to our topic, I'll find it. I have a recording that I can upload to YouTube because I toured it to our team and our family already. So I'll find it and get it to y'all. But that's interesting to see how that's the biggest words on the whole page, okay? But I can't find it in my archives. Okay, so to go back to some other things that people were asking about, I wanted to go over what the A, B, and OID. And again, I read from the law, y'all. So we use the law to our advantage, okay? Because that here makes us a lot easier for us to be able to basically understand these things better. So anybody who is on a call right now, if you go to irs.gov, y'all can do it on y'all phones because TikTok has it where it keeps the live going in the background. If you go to irs.gov, and on here, if you look up, click on forms, and there's a form search bar that comes up. I'm going to show you that. And you can type in 1099A. And the A and the C comes up. So the reason why the A and the C comes up, because a lot of times abandonment is the form 1099C. And technically, you're supposed to do an A and C together. So some people I talked to in the last couple of days were asking me about different situations with vehicles, houses, so foreclosure, repossessions, things like that. I don't know if you all know this, but if you never received an A and a C from these people, they aren't supposed to be collecting from y'all. So from a repossession perspective and a legal perspective, once the debt is sold, foreclosure or repossession, or is in collection, you should have received both a copy of an A and a C. And so I want to start by saying that if you have never received that, that's something you need to be asking these people for. Okay? So a lot of people who are dealing with these financial situations because you either really couldn't afford to pay or you stopped paying, at the end of the day, y'all, that's a refund check for you. So all this time that you weren't paying, even though we know they got paid already, I want y'all to understand that you are now losing money because you're not paying your bills. So I'm not going to combat what anybody else on the internet is saying because I'm sure they have a reason for why they're explaining that to you guys. But my 2 cents in regards to that is that that turns back into a paycheck for you once you do the recoupment process. So my 2 cents is, do not stop paying your bills because somebody told you to, y'all. Like, come on now. Pay your bills or you're going to be homeless, hot, and without a vehicle. If you don't have proof that these people did what you think in your head and you've heard people say they did, then you can't act in your best strength. You can't act in your greatest capacity because you don't have the proof. Okay? So I'm going to click on this 1099A so y'all can see some things. So some of y'all have filled these out before. So having filled this out before, it's all good. So you are the lender. We're going to always start with that. We talked about that earlier. You're the creditor. You're the lender. Anything that happens in your life transaction wise originates with you. So if you are the one, without your signature, nothing exists in this world, y'all. Your social security number, you give your address, you give your phone number, whatever you're giving. If you didn't give it to them, these companies wouldn't even be in business. So imagine a world that your signature has that much power. Flick of the wrist. So knowing that you have that type of power, we need to act in that. So some people have asked in the chat today how you fill this out. You are the lender. So where it says lender name, so that's up here at the top. Lender, sorry, my screen is touchscreen. At the top, you go there. The borrower is whoever the creditor is. The creditor, the fake creditor. So that's your electric company, water company, whoever. That goes down here. I'll move close. Date of lender acquisition will be the top of the year, January 1st. And typically they have another box, but I guess sometimes that's on the electronic side. Usually it has a date here that you can put 12/31 as well. So when you do electronic filings, it gives you 2 boxes for both. Balance of the principal is either going to be your one-time amount that you put in there or it's your 10-time amount. Fair market value is going to be your one-time amount. So it's whatever the value of your contract is, your billing statement, your bank statement. Here, yes, check if the borrower was personally liable for the repayment of the debt. You always mark that off. And then down here, you can put your account number. Account number, description. Now, you can also put that here, but that's not what, this isn't as important as this. So your account number is the description. It may be your title number. It may be any number that's associated with whatever you're about to apply goes here. That's the 1099A. Okay. This is the most powerful form. Acquisition or abandonment. So now I'm going to go back to the IRS site and I'm going to click on the instructions because I don't want y'all to think I'm just telling y'all how to fill this out. Okay. Let's start with this definition that it has here. Property means any real property, any intangible property, intangible personal property. Okay? The only thing you can't do, which you all should know, is we can't do person-to-person stuff. So you can't 1099-A me. You can 1099-A my business, but you can't 1099-A me. So person is all about corporation to corporation. And why does this apply to you in this situation? Because your name, your all capital name, is a corporation. Okay? Personal use. You see that there? Everything we do is for personal use. It's for household purposes. It's for personal use. Why? Because in our world, when we're doing our daily transactions between ourselves and our family, we're doing it for our personal gain. That's why it's being done. Okay? Scroll down. We're going to go to the instructions because I want y'all to see. I'm telling y'all the same thing. I'm teaching y'all from the actual document. Excuse me. Date of lender's acquisition or knowledge of abandonment. For an acquisition, so that means anytime you get an account, you need to be doing an A, especially if it's a brand new account. If it's an old account, you can go back and file it. Remember, I told you y'all can go back and file for however many years. In fact, what I'll do when we get off this call, I'll see, because they take my stuff down, y'all. So I can create a video that shows that you can go back as far as you want to go back with the IRS. So it is not just this 3-year thing that they tell us. And then I'll create the video on where it is, it shows that it's voluntary. So I'll just make a fresh video so it can get straight to the point. Maybe I can make it into less than 60 seconds. We'll see what I can do. All right. For acquisition, enter the date you acquired the property. That's clear, right? Let's keep going down. For abandonment, enter the date you knew or had reason to know that the property was abandoned unless you expect to commence in a foreclosure, execution, or similar action within the next 3 months, as explained earlier. If a third party purchases a property at a foreclosure, execution, or similar sale, the property is treated as abandoned and you have a reason to know if it's abandonment on the date of sale. So for those who have lost houses, that's important to you. You still can go back after a house that you lost or a car you have lost to do a 1099-A. Okay? I'm going to scroll down. I'm reading directly off the instructions, y'all. Just so you know, irs.gov. 1099-AC instructions. Here, fair market value. Well, balance of principal outstanding. Enter the balance of the debt outstanding at the time the interest in the property was acquired or on the date you first knew or had reason to know that the property was abandoned. Include only unpaid principal. So you would not include your payments that you've paid, but you can do a separate A. Really, your B and OID is best for that. So this A is best used to be a total summation of all the B's and OIDs you did, or just B's. Let me say that, because B and OID technically are separate documents. Technically, they are separate filings, but you should always do a B and an OID for the same entity. The A, however, is a summary or a total of all of your B's total together or all of your OIDs total together. Fair market value for a foreclosure, execution, or similar sale. Enter the fair market value of the property. So you guys, fair market value is, I'm not going to go deep down there because I have fee schedules. But if you don't have a fee schedule, your fair market value is just going to be the value of whatever that contract is, okay? So I want to be very clear. It's the value of whatever that contract is. You apply for a $10,000 credit card, it's $10,000. If you are doing bank statements, it's the total of your bank statements for the year. Deposits and withdrawals. We do not just do deposits. Every dollar counts, okay? deposits and withdrawals. I'm going to go to number 3. Where is that at? Hold on. They go from 1, 2, and 4. Where did 3 go? That's weird. All right, well, whatever. Number 5 here. Was the borrower liable? If the borrower was personally liable for repayment of the debt at the time the debt was created or modified, mark the X. 6. Enter a general description of the property. For real property, you must generally enter the address. See, they get telling you what to do. You just got to do it. And here it says, or if the address does not sufficiently identify the property, enter the section, lot, or block. And that's just for real estate. So whatever it is, enter it. Okay. And then but look at this here, something that I don't think I ever read that. If you're required to file a Form 1099-A, you must provide a statement to the borrower, furnish a copy of Form 1099-A or an acceptable substitute statement to each borrower. For more information about the requirement to furnish, it sends you someplace else. Okay? So in most situations, if you signed a contract, they have you as the borrower and them as the creditor. So how do you reverse that? You file a UCC-1. And when it comes to the Uniform Commercial Code, the reason why you file a UCC-1 is because you are the secured party creditor. You are the creditor. So if there's no public record of that, it's your word against theirs. So you know how some of y'all may call me on the phone and say, I know what I know. But guess what? If you never filed a 1099, how do they know? You understand? So that's how I want y'all to look at it. You know, this here is how you regain back your power. And this is the biggest thing to do. This UCC filing, which will include your contract information for whoever, and it will also write out what the value of their contract is. Yes, Love My Peace says, so for any contract you're claiming, you have to have proof. Yeah, you always have to have proof, y'all. And remember, it's corporation to corporation. You are a corporation. I don't care who you are and where you're from. You are a corporation. All capital name is a corporation. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of the straw man and all of that. We're not doing that. We focusing on the tax stuff, okay? So that's the 1099-A. See how short and sweet that was? I want to talk about the C, just in case this applies to somebody. Here it says, for the 1099-C, if in the same calendar year you cancel a debt of $600 or more in connection with a foreclosure or abandonment of a secure property, everything is secure property, y'all, in case y'all didn't know that. And the reason why it's secure is because it's attached to your Social Security collateral and birth certificate. Those are instruments. They are property. They are real property. Okay? That's why everything is secured. Okay? You're welcome. Love My Peace. If in the same calendar year it's over $600, you also need to be claiming it, recouping it. Okay? Mimo, that's a great question. I'm going to say this. I actually had a conversation with some of my team about this. And in my opinion, what everyone on this group need to do, I want you to take a pen and paper out tonight or tomorrow. I'm 3 hours behind y'all. It's really early where I'm at. Sit down, make a list of everything that you've ever had. We're going to start the top of the list, number 1 and number 2. That's going to be your Social Security card and birth certificate. Now, that will be from age 0. Okay? That will be from age 0 up until now. Think of everything that you ever had. And the easiest way to look at this, let me see if I can find some things quickly. I'm a paper hoarder, so that's why I'd rather show y'all. Let's see if I can find something quickly. Now my internet says y'all looking at it, so it ain't gonna work. Everything we do, there's some kind of application number. I'll open this up. All right, so think of it like this. See here, you had applied for these 3 different things, and let's say they're declined, right? So when you open up this link here, it will take you, and let's see if it works today. Let's see if we get lucky. I just want to show y'all different ways that y'all can go back and find stuff, okay? So if you look here, that's the same 3 applications, right? Still the decline, and then click on view. Let's go back to the oldest one. It's from 22. And it's some kind of e-sign thing. I don't have any credit, y'all, just so we clear. I don't, once you get out of stuff, you don't try to go back into them. But I do run a pockets. I'm going to teach y'all how to do the same thing. So this one is giving some kind of error message. I was hoping that I could look at like the denial letter, because these denial letters, I just rack them up, y'all, to be honest. And I rack them up because they typically, let's see if this one works. Give me a second. I'm really getting to know y'all. I done gave y'all my birthday. Let's see. Yeah, it's not letting me, but normally you would have got like an application. Let me see if it's in my email. Give me a second. American Express. I was hoping that maybe I had a copy of the application. Let me see. I was trying to find an application, so this may be helpful. Let's see. I was trying to find something that showed like a receipt number. Like when you're looking for these documents, I was trying to help y'all see when they are signed. That's an affidavit. Jeez Louise. Let's see. Let's see. Tax returns. Wow, I thought I could find a receipt fast. Let's see, American Express. Well, let me see if it's on this collection notice. No. Yeah, sometimes they have like everything typically has identifying numbers. And that's what I'm looking for, because I want y'all to be able to check in BMW. What is that? All those are letters. So y'all can identify whether or not it's something that you can use for your proof of evidence. Bank statements are an obvious thing. But I was trying to see. Let's see. That's a bank statement. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have very many examples of. Let me see what's on a monthly statement. No. All right, so that my point could not be made. By KGS. I'm going to try to maybe do them once a week. Sorry for just seeing your message. my point is that when you're starting to collect your documents, you want to make sure it has some kind of identifying number to it outside of just having a numerical value. So if the receipt shows that it's from XYZ, your billing statement will be a great example of that. Your billing statement always has, from like, let's just talk about utilities, always has some kind of thing up there where, oh yeah, Lorraine said the same thing, a denial letter, offer letter, any of that would have been very helpful. Collection accounts, all that stuff. Usually they have some kind of identifying number at the top. So you can use that to your advantage because it would have some kind of value to it that would have been helpful to you. Okay. Next thing we're going to go over is the OID, because I want y'all to read this stuff. You're not just doing this stuff. Oh yes, Blossomberry credit report is perfect. Okay, open that credit report up and crack open them creditors. And then what you're going to do is you get your UCC1 and put your credit account number on there, or if it has a credit application number, you put it on there. All of that is going to be in your collateral box. So when I told y'all to create the list, it don't matter if you have it anymore, y'all. If you got a record of it, so I'm gonna tell you I'm a hoarder. That was my point. I have so much stuff from every denial, every application. You can call these people and ask for your application too, by the way. So don't be afraid to call them, act in your authority, and you tell them that you want a copy of the application that you signed up with. Okay? So next thing we're gonna go over is the OID. Again, I'm going to show you, I'm on the IRS site. I don't want y'all to ever think I'm just coming up with stuff. So you can change this here to now do OID. And I'm not going to lie, technically you should be doing INTs, but until you gain access to your trust account, I just don't suggest y'all go crazy like that, because you can always come back and amend things. But in between time, let's go back to the form itself. All right, so this is the OID. It doesn't look like this when you electronically file, just so we clear, okay? It looks a little different. You're the payer at the top. They're the recipient at the bottom. You do need to get their EIN number. So let me show you how to get EIN numbers. So let's just do... I already got it up here because I was helping somebody else. Bank of America EIN. Sometimes you can find it easy. See how I got it right there? And depending on the institution, sometimes it may have come to you in documents they sent you. So you just do simple searches. Bank of America EIN and whoever they are. And that's good enough. They supposed to be sending y'all INTs every year. They don't send us Bs. They don't send us... A's. They don't send us INTs. Okay. So if you don't do these things, they not going to do it. When you don't do it, y'all, the detriment of it is that these people have told the IRS that you gave them money as a gift. So if you never go back and correct the record, they're saying that you're just giving money away for the sake of giving money away. Just so we clear. That's the whole purpose. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I'm learning all kinds of stuff hitting this button, y'all. All right, let's see. All right, so we're going to go back to the OID. So that's how you find EINs, doing simple Google searches. I use DuckDuckGo because they don't have cookies. They don't collect all the cookies and all that stuff. So I use that. So I'm going to pull up the OID. We're going to go over this right quick. At the top, payer. At the bottom, recipient, original issue, discount. Type it. Put the year that you're doing it for. I told you can go back as far as you can go back. You can put the calendar year in there too. You don't fill out number 2. You don't fill out number 3. Okay. Here, number 4, federal income tax withheld is the total amount of the value of that contract. So if it's a $10,000, it's a $10,000. We'll go here. Okay. And number 1 and 4 is mainly the only two you fill out. 1 is how much the total value is. 4 is how much the total value. 7, that description, just like on the A. What's the account number? What's the address? What's the title number? What's the license? Like whatever it is. Number 7, put that in there. And that's all you have to fill out. Some people will argue with me about that. I don't go back and forth with them. You do what worked for you. I know what worked for me. So I only do payer, recipient, box 1, box 4, box 7. And when you're using an electronic filing system, it's different from this, okay? Just so we're clear. They're not going to ask for all of that. When you're doing an e-file, you're going to put in your information there, and then you're going to do box 1 and box 4. If you're doing 1099 online, you can put whatever you want. So that's the better part of it, being able to do it this way. But either way, make sure you tell on them, okay? So now we're going to go over the instructions because we need that, right? We're never going to not go over the instructions because I want y'all to know what y'all are doing. All right, let's go down to, so see why INT, so A and C go together. INT and OID go together. Okay? So INT is 1099 interest. If you originally issued something to somebody and you gave them a discount, the discount at least they can do is give you interest. That's what the 1099 interest is. So we scroll down and we're going to go to box 1. Box 1, I'll make it larger so y'all can see it. Here, box 1 is, oh no, this is the INC. Hold on, y'all. Let's get to the OID. Here we go. OID, report the taxable OID, original issue discount is OID, on the obligation for the part of the year it was owned by you. Okay? So you owned it as soon as you applied for it, y'all. Like literally, as soon as you applied, you owned it. Lorraine, you can go back as far as you can show records. And remember, if you're going to reproduce records, it got to be to something real. Don't come up with no fake stuff because it's not even necessary. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to even, from a perspective of documents, you have so much stuff that you can come up with. There's no reason for you to falsify documents. So when people be doing fake tax returns and all that, like that was very common. It probably still is common. I don't even see the purpose of it. I know they at least owe you $5. Well, we're going to say $500 because minimally that's what it should be if you're going to do a reporting. At least $500. So you know they owe you $500. Minimally. Because that's the lowest threshold that you would file anything like this for. Anything below $500, you have to chalk that up. It's not even worth it. And I think it's $600. I see it. They changed that number, but either way, $500-$600. Most people had $500 or $600, you know, throughout the year. And even if you haven't, we need to work on it. Okay, we can find you money somewhere. Trust me. Somebody cash apps you. You getting food stamps, all that stuff, y'all. All of that. All right. Box 2 does not apply. Box 3 does not apply. Box 4, enter backup withholding. For example, if a recipient does not furnish their TIN number to you in the manner required, you must back up withhold. Do you think if you ask, somebody talked about W-9s earlier, do you think if you ask them people for a W-9, they're going to give you a W-9? They're going to fill out the W-9? Let me show you what the W-9 is so y'all can understand that. We just keeping it 100. The W-9, request for taxpayer identification number and certification. Do you think if you ask your bank right now that they're going to say to you that, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you my EIN, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, oh, what you want that for? They're going to, when I tell you, I ain't seen nobody go through this yet where they did not go through all of that. You understand? That EIN, You need to treat your EIN, aka your social security number, like they do theirs, because they already know if you asking for it, it's about to go down. I don't know why they're starting this new thing asking us for it. It's the same process, Mimo. I saw your last question. I got you. It's the same thing. Everything came from your trust account. Please do not think that these people are just oh so nice and gave you food stamps, oh so nice and gave you Medicaid, oh so nice and gave you your paycheck. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ain't nobody gave us nothing. Everything came from our trust accounts. I'm telling you everything. So here it says use form W-9 to provide your correct taxpayer identification number to the person who is required to file an information return with the IRS to report for income paid to you, real estate transaction, mortgage interest paid, acquisition or abandonment, aka 1099A, cancellation of debt, aka 1099C, contributions you made to an IRA, which is retirement accounts. Okay? Don't ever think they ain't did nothing for you. It's your time to shine, baby. All right. Going back to OID. Remember, we only did box 1. We did box 4. I just wanted to show you where the backup holding, how that connects to box 4. And that's because they did not give you a TIN number. They ain't going to give you no EIN number. They will never do that. That's why I just showed y'all how to look it up online. Name of entity EIN number. Google it. Now, the next thing we filled out was number 7. Enter the CUSIP number. If any, if there is no CUSIP number, enter abbreviation for the stock exchange or abbreviation for the issuer used by the stock exchange, blah, blah, blah. Just put the account number in there. Everything's a CUSIP number. That's why I was telling you, I was trying to find you something with a number on it. I can show you my birth certificate. Duh. Let's make that easy. Let's see how bad chat did me. I know it's on my trust. Hold on. And here's an example of I'll show y'all this UCC. I don't know if this belongs to me. No, this don't belong to me. I can't show y'all that. Can't show you somebody else stuff. Hold on a second. All right, this is one of my trusts. It's a ecclesiastical trust. So ecclesiastical trust, Jennifer asked if I pay my excess mortgage straight to the mortgage company, can I do the 1099A on that? You can do the 1099A on the money that came out of your account, but not if it's in somebody else's name. So your trust account is for you only. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. So when you're doing recoupment, you can't do recoupment on the behalf of somebody else. They have to do it themselves unless you are a guardian or have conservatorship over them. So guardian is typically somebody under 18. Conservatorship is for somebody over 18. And then if you made payments, if it came out of an account that you own, you can just do the process on your own account number. So you wouldn't, unless you were on that mortgage with him, Jennifer, you can only use it if it's associated with you only. So even though you made the payment, the money had to come from somewhere. So if it came from your bank account, that would be what you would be doing a recoupment process on. So if you transfer money from your account to his account, you can use your account for the recoupment process. Unfortunately, he has a benefit that he can use it as well. I'm not judging our relationship, but I ain't trying to help people that's an ex. I'm just saying. But my point is that he can also do the same thing. So that's something to keep in mind. That's something we didn't talk about. So for everybody who may be married that's on the live, that's a good topic of discussion temporarily. Because I really just was trying to get my birth certificate. And so while that's pulling up, if you're married, you actually can double the money. So especially if y'all have joint accounts. So husband, wife, joint accounts, they use both of y'all trust accounts. I'm just saying, if y'all are a joint owner, I'm not talking about somebody that you gave POA to, unless they had to give their social security number to be on that account. That's what I mean by that. So if you have accounts with your kids, spouses, other family members, friends, you definitely can do all of that. So here's my birth certificate. Y'all getting to know me for real. I must like y'all. I done put y'all all in my business. This is my, let's get larger. This is the birth certificate number from my particular birth certificate. Okay. And so that is an account number. This is also attached to a QSIP number. So if I can find, that's the birth certificate, and y'all can see it says certificate of birth. That's me, right? And then and I already know what somebody about to ask. Well, how much is the birth certificate worth? I don't know. You have to get the QSIP for your birth certificate to know that answer. I personally could not tell you that. I wanted to show you how I recorded my UCC for my birth certificate. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Is this what I've been looking for all this time? Give me a second, y'all. No, that's not what I was looking for. Let's see if this was it. So this is the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And this is not my actual recorded document, because I'm not going to let y'all get that personal with me. If y'all go and get my birth certificate number and go do something, y'all can do your thing. But this here is what I recorded in the public. Let's get like that. Make this smaller. Maybe make it that smaller. Here is what I recorded in the public for this particular that particular document. And so here it just reads, I'll make it closer, verification of title on assets in control of trust. So when I told you guys y'all need to do a UCC filing, this is what I meant. So one, your name should be in a trust, your assets should be in a trust, anything that you are doing to be a trustee or to be an executor, administrator, you need to have your stuff leaned up. When people go to use, you see this here? These are different variations of my name. So people think they can just use your name. No, not no more. Once you lean it up, you need to have a fee schedule. If somebody try to give you a parking ticket, traffic ticket, anything, bill, if they use your name without your permission, this is how you get remedy for that, okay? So please, if you haven't done this, I've talked to a lot of y'all who are not a part of our group, and y'all told me different things about y'all. If you didn't do this, then this is another thing that you're missing besides not properly having funded your trust. Okay? So I just wanted, to put this piece out here because that's important. Non-UCC filing, it needs to be filed in the real estate division of your county, of where you are born and or where you live. And the and emphasis on and, not or. Okay. I wanted to show you guys something. Hold on. I think that was it right there. So this is what it looks like when it's recorded. That's how you know it's recorded. Okay. And so if you don't record it, it's no sense of creating UCCs in all these documents, y'all. That's the one thing you can file in the public. Someone asked about trust earlier. Even though that's not a trust, you can file that UCC because you want them to know, hey, don't be trying to, use my stuff without my permission. Help me, Lord. I swear, Claude got my stuff all messed up, y'all. I'm trying to find y'all this UCC filing for my birth certificate. And this is crazy. Let me look in someplace else. Hold on. I got multiple cloud drive things. Katie, what do you mean by do you have to file a UCC that was returned back to you? I would say yes to your question, but I'm not sure what you mean, so I don't want to assume. Somebody, Love My Peace, said, how do you get QSIP numbers? Well, I hope to hold a class on that soon because I don't believe in paying people. I feel like folks are out here hustling y'all when they tell you they can do a QSIP number for you and all that foolishness that they say they can do. And they listen, y'all definitely have to, without a doubt, learn some things. So if y'all going to be on this journey, somebody asked when I'm going to have another class. I hope to have another class very soon on QSIPs. I'm learning how to do a QSIP creation because once you're in their system on qsip.gov or .org or whatever they are, once you learn how to do a QSIP, you also have the ability to be able to look them up as well. Excuse me. What you said is returned from the SOS. Katie, I'm not following your question. Are you saying the UCC? I'm going to say yes. I'll answer your question in a second. I just wanted to show y'all something right quick. So this is an old UCC filing, and you can amend UCC filings as much as you want. So I'm going to talk about that for a second, then I'll show you what I wanted to show y'all, which is my QSIP. So see here, one trademark has already been since 2009. So I don't have to go any back and forth with nobody. This has been around for a long time. This is my original filings. And then down here, this is some of the stuff. So here's the birth certificate, certificate of birth, social security number. I don't care if y'all have my social security number. Go ahead and give me some money if y'all going to write it down. Okay. Make sure we do that. Yeah. Yes, it is about that price, $200 to $250. And mainly it's because they got access to the QSIP system. You can get access to your own QSIP system. Once you understand how to do your trust, you can do it yourself, guys. Y'all don't need somebody to get QSIPs for y'all. Okay, Katie, you talking about the UCC. So let me tell you what I do. For one, let's talk about ledgers. Let me see if I got a ledger in here that's easy to find. Hold on, y'all. So I have all my stuff on Ledger. So when you talk about handling your estate, you're not just going to be taking up space, y'all. We got to be on this stuff, okay? And let me see if I can find a ledger that's real quick. Ledger. Gotta know how to spell it. Let's see. There may be one in here. So I do ledgers for everything, to your question. So when we're talking about, this may be the only one I have, AFLT. I have so many types of ledgers. Complaint, that's a complaint. I know I just did this one. I'm going to show y'all a type of ledger. Hold on a second. Henry County. Here you go. I'm going to just open this up so y'all can see this. But I create ledgers for everything. So for me, when I do a ledger, I typically, everything I do is listed. So this is a type of ledger. So this here is a ledger for, and we call this a ledger, and you will also attach a warehouse receipt to this. This ledger is for me doing open record requests for a specific county, and I made note of every request, what it was for, the reason why they claimed they couldn't give it to me, whether part of it was requested, what it produced or not, and if there's any deficiencies. So you create ledgers. Let's just say you file multiple UCCs. You will then create a ledger of every filing, every addendum that you've done. And now you got a record of everything that you filed. Everything. Okay. When you don't have a record of stuff, so this is handling your estate stuff now. if you don't have a ledger of these things, y'all, you can argue to you blue in the face. You don't have no proof of what you send. You should have ledger every time you certify mail, and always certify mail. Always send something trackable mail, certified mail. Create ledgers. Get a firm book. You can get a registered mail firm book from most post offices. You got to ask for it, but make sure you do all these things. So we're not just doing stuff. You're not just filing paperwork for the sake of filing paperwork. Even Miss Love, earlier you were talking about how you've been waiting 2 years. If you sent every time y'all make a phone call, y'all need to make a log of it. Go back and see how many times that you made a log, you called somebody, dates, time, how long you was on the phone, all that stuff. You talking about having a fee schedule? Let me show y'all my fee schedule. Because I don't play with these people. It's all about, you got to sue these people. You got to send them invoices, whatever it takes, okay? You cannot play with these folks because they will play in your face, and nobody got time for that. Let me see if I can find that on here. Let me go back to Mega. So my fee schedule, so all these things here that I just showed y'all that was on my UCC filing, has a fee schedule, and if I feel froggy, I can sue anybody I want because they all using your name without your permission. That's identity theft. But here's my fee schedule. I just wanted to show y'all that right quick because everything is about us as masters of our trust. So I'm gonna just show y'all some of the numbers because I need y'all to not play with these people. For every unlawful, solicited, unsolicited interference and trespass in my private matters and or commercial affairs, the following administrative fees apply. Y'all see them numbers? And guess what? For every offense committed against all them name variations I showed y'all earlier, same thing. I don't care how my name is spelled. If it's attached to me, I'm going to send you a bill if you're violating. Okay? So you want to get as deep and as far in with this stuff as you can. The key is understanding your power and then being able to act on it. So we don't talk trash. We don't, what they say, you won't throw rock and hide your hands. We're not doing that over here. And what we will do is if y'all aren't sure how to do this, you can become a part of the group. We got some really awesome people that's in our group already on this live right now. Yeah. We about that life. We ain't letting nobody slide. We're not going to let people keep treating us any kind of way. We're not doing that this year, y'all. I'm going to go back to this OID and then I'm going to wrap up this call because we definitely been on it. Y'all, you can send me a DM, Mima, and you'll be a part of our group. It's paid membership, y'all. Everybody got to get, listen, you do payment plans, whatever y'all need, but we definitely, everybody who is a part of our group has paid. I find when you give things for free, people don't care. I'm not going to do it to y'all. Plus, I want y'all to get to y'all riches. So we're all investors. You spend money to make money. Here on the OID, we're pretty much done. I just wanted to get back to box 7 because we went down a CUSIP rabbit hole. But the point 2 that I was trying to show you guys with that UCC filing, which I don't think I showed you other than that my birth certificate was on there. I wanted to show you that I have my CUSIP number for that. So I'm going to pull that up right quick and then we'll wrap up that CUSIP and we'll wrap up our conversation around the CUSIP. Here, this was for a mortgage, Wells Fargo Bank mortgage that I had back in the day. This is the account number. See here with true bill number. This is the CUSIP number. Okay. I have the same thing here. Certificate of birth. Same thing. Okay. CUSIP numbers. Social Security. CUSIP number. I got all of these things. Okay. And some say that these things may change. And guess what? If they change, you can find it. Once you have the first, you can always find the next. Okay? So I'm just giving y'all some information that you may not knew you could do. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap the call up because we definitely been on for 3 hours. I enjoyed y'all. Any last questions or comments? Make sure y'all follow and hit your notifications so that I'm able to catch up with you anytime I jump back on. Today was just really about tax recoupment because I know a lot of people wanted to understand taxes, and you may just be missing one thing. You could be missing everything. But either way, go ahead and ask your question so that you know what you may be missing. And more importantly, y'all, go take some action. Some of y'all are absolutely, without a doubt, information hoarders. Y'all are holding on for dear life to everything y'all done learned. I need y'all to go practice it. Guess what? It may hurt because you didn't get your first win because you have an expectation. But more importantly, please, without a doubt, definitely just go try it. You ain't nothing to lose. Somebody said, can you show me the website for the EINTIN Blossomberry? You just have to look up the company's name. So you say Bank of America EIN, and typically it's going to show within those Google results. And whatever number you find, use it. They all go to the same place. These companies have different subsidiaries. So the way that they kind of have things set up with the EIN, they have a bunch of EINs because they got all these aliases and DBAs and subsidiaries. Whatever EIN you find, you use it. Okay? Miguel said he never found the 1099A. Sir, I know you didn't just do your taxes and ain't found no 1099A. When I know I instructed everybody to do 1099A, you are on punishment if you did, okay, Miguel? You better send me a message offline. You on punishment. You're welcome, Ivory. You're welcome, Love My Peace. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you. I'm going to, hopefully it's going to allow for me to do the download of this live. I'm going to put it on YouTube. And you guys send me a message if you want a copy of those IRC manuals, the IRS manuals. You're welcome, Blossomberry, or anything we talked about today. If it's something that you want me to quickly send you, if I can find it quickly, I'll make sure I get it to you. And then I'll send you the YouTube link if y'all send me a private message, okay? My phone number is in my bio. Y'all can text me. I am 3 hours behind y'all. It's only 5 o'clock here where I am at right now. But I hope y'all found it rewarding. And go do something. Do your UCC. Do your trust. Do something, y'all. Don't y'all leave this live and not get nothing done. You hear me? Y'all on punishment. If so, I'm going to put you on punishment. And I know y'all growing. And I don't care. Okay? Ivory, text me, DM me, and I'll give you the YouTube link. I don't know what my name is on YouTube to answer your question, but I can send you the link directly. And you're so welcome. You're so welcome. MBTM Masterpiece. You're welcome. And thank y'all for your time. If y'all think of anything, send me a message, and I'll try to do another. And I know I talked about a lot, so maybe I'll come up with an agenda where I'm talking about specific topics only. This one kind of was all over the place, but it all fit together. So when I go back to do the transcription for this, I'll find out what all the topics are, and that will help me create new topics. That's what I do use AI for, to help me organize my thoughts. But I hope y'all have a fantastic evening, and I will talk to all of y'all soon. Peace.